Hey there, Fletcher from All Things Overlanding here. Today I'm going to be talking about my Helinox tactical table. This thing's pretty sweet. I believe it's one of their newer lines of products. It's an all black, which I love, and it just has an aggressive look, and it's really simple and easy to set up. Plus it's super small. So I'm going to show you this thing, all the details, how to set it up, kind of what it looks like, the sizes and dimensions and things like that. So if you want to learn more about the Helinox tactical table, stay tuned.
When I let you go. Understand where it came from, but you got it, my got it. It began in the land of the sandstorm. I fought it, though I wanted everything to do with what you give to me. Loosening my grip.
All right, so let's start with the bag. I love the design of the bag. Again, all black, which is kind of just my preference. It does have some nice grab handles on both ends, so it's really easy to pick up, sling around, throw in your gear, grab out of your gear, that sort of thing. On the bottom, I guess you would call it, of the bag, it has MOLLE attachments. So again, you could attach this bag to a MOLLE panel inside of your vehicle or something like that, and then just unzip it and grab the table out of it if you wanted to, or you could attach things to it. If you wanted to throw a first aid kit on this or something like that, you could totally do that thanks to the MOLLE webbing on the bottom, which is nice. Then as far as opening the bag goes, it does have this pretty nice little strap, so it kind of lets you easily unzip both zippers at the same time. And then another thing that I really liked that they did was they put Velcro on it so that it does kind of hold it down. So especially when you're putting it away, you can just Velcro it and then you can zip it up, and then that makes it easier just to get the bag closed. Another nice thing is that it does have some Velcro on the end here, so you could put some sort of like a Velcro patch or something like that on it. You could mark it as like, put your name on it. You could put, you know, I've got my own patches, so I could throw an All Things Overlanding patch on here so you know this is my chair if you had a few of them, that sort of thing. But just a nice little feature that you could additionally add some sort of Velcro marker or tag or patch or something to the end of the table. So when we open it up, basically here's what you get. You get the main body of the table, which is, you know, very similar to a lot of these aluminum pole chairs, very similar to the matching tactical chair that you can get in this type. But again, here's the thing with Helinox. Okay, I've had a few of these, the no-name sort of Chinese knockoff aluminum pole style pieces of furniture. And one, they twist and turn all the time, right? So when you look at these plastic fittings, they're fixed onto the center pole here. So they do not spin, which is really nice. So you don't have to worry about, like, you know, with a lot of those chairs, the ends are constantly spinning and you're having to figure out which end is which and sort of put it up. With this, all the positions are fixed, so you can't set it up wrong, right? This doesn't twist at all. So once all the poles go into their holes, then you can see that it has these plastic / rubber feet here on one end, and then it's got these little sort of like metal ball bearings on the other side. So the ball bearing sides go up, the plastic feet go down, and then you get two other poles. Now, at first I was a little confused by these, and I was kind of like, what do you do with these? I'm going to show you. It's actually pretty easy. So basically all that they do is they go together in the middle, just like any sort of typical camping pole that you might use. And then they've got these little sort of like cup-shaped things on the bottom of them. And what you do with those is you actually use those to grab onto the ball things at the end of this, and then you can stretch it. So you take that, you stretch that. There is going to be a little bit of exposed pole here in the middle, and that's okay because there's still plenty of structure there, but then that allows you that stretch that you need to get it on the ball head end mounts. Same thing with the other side. I'm just going to put it on there, slide it, let it grab on, just like that. Then once you have that, then you have the structure for your table. So let me turn the camera here a little bit, and I'm going to show you how to put the top on, how easy it is to set it up. But remember, if I wasn't showing you how to video this, it would probably take me 20-30 seconds max to set this table up. It's tiny footprint. There are a lot of benefits to something like this. So let me show you how to set the rest of it up. All right, so again, once you have your base in place, that forms the base for the table. Now here is what that looks like. So basically, you've got this sort of like, it's like a fabric material with like a plastic panel or some sort of a panel. It feels like plastic maybe on the inside that's stitched in there, so it can't come out. But again, that gives it some additional structure, but still allows you to fold it up flat, right? So you can fold it up basically like that. It takes up way less room. Expand it out, you've got a table. But then you can see these exposed pieces of poles, and then on the little tabletop pieces here, there are little slots basically where these will attach. So all you're going to do is take this and sort of clip it in to these pole holders, I guess, if you will. When you get to the other end, you may notice that it looks like there's a little bit of a gap. Here is where the compression is going to happen. So you remember on the underside of the table here, we've got this sort of silver part still exposed there. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to now push these back and put some tension on the tabletop. That's what's going to make it firm. And once you do that, then it all kind of holds itself together. It also gets rid of most of that space in the middle there. And then you've got a pretty rigid little table, which again is really, really nice because of how small it is, how easy it is to set up. It's really nice to have this big workspace. I'll put the dimensions on the screen here of what this the tabletop itself is. But for such a small footprint, to be able to have a really quick to set up, really easy to deploy table, it's also just the right size from a height standpoint where it's about 6 inches below my knee. So if you wanted to set this in front of your chair and sit and eat at it, you could do that really easily, work on stuff, read a book. There's a million things you can do with it, but it's not too tall or too short. It's just right. All right, so as far as downsides to the Helinox table go, there really aren't very many. One of the only nitpicks that I could find was that there isn't really a way to attach this bag to the table itself. The same goes for their tactical chair. And so what that means though is, you got to do something with the bag. You have to figure out what to do with it. In most cases with these folding type things, there's some sort of like a Velcro strap that's attached to it. And in the past, I would just use that Velcro strap to strap the bag to it, just so I wouldn't lose it, right? Just so that I knew where it was and I wouldn't have to worry about losing the bag. In this case, what I generally do is I will go back to my drawer system and I'll throw the bag in there after I set up the table or set up the chair. So that is really about the only downside to it. I mean, again, it folds up super small, it's super stout and sturdy, it's really useful, it's user-friendly, it's easy to clean. It's been really great. I've been using the crap out of it for the last few weeks and I really, really like it, especially for the size. If you're interested in this table, I will put a link in the description down below just to make it as easy as possible to find. So click through that down there and go check it out. It is on the pricier side, but again, with the number of chairs and tables that I've had, I will say I've had a bunch of cheap chairs and tables and they generally fall apart, fail, they're harder to use, the quality is less, something is gonna happen, right? So that's kind of why I stepped up to the Helinox stuff this time, is because I know that for a fact I go camping quite a bit and I want something that's going to hold up for the long haul. So again, with the Helinox stuff, really confident in it. Used it for a while now and put it through its paces. I used it multiple times a day at camp. On a 2-week consecutive overlanding trip, I used all this stuff and I used it every day and it was great. So again, I hope that gives you some good info on it. If you have any questions or anything on this table, post them in the comments down below. Happy to help with those. If you have any experience with it or something similar, or you want to talk about anything related to tables, post that up in the comments as well. As always, there's going to be links to all my social media channels down there. So wherever you want to come hang out, I know you're watching on YouTube, but I'd love to have you everywhere else. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, wherever you want to come and hang out, I am there. So come and check out all things overlanding wherever you want. Also in the description down below are links to my website where I've got overlanding and camping patches and stickers. I think they're pretty funny. So if you are interested in that kind of stuff, if you like patches or stickers for your rig or your fridge or your cooler or whatever, definitely check out that link down below to my website. And then last but not least, we've got a link to my Patreon group. There's a bunch of awesome people in that group right now. We have a 24/7 Discord and we have a once-a-month Zoom call to kind of chat about our gear and stuff. So if that's something you're interested in, check it out. And then also the Newbie Overlanders Facebook group. Totally free to join. Tons and tons of awesome people in there and it's growing every day. And it's been a lot of fun just to kind of see that group grow and a bunch of different people with a bunch of different rigs and levels of experience kind of come into one place. So if that sounds like something you want to do, check that out as well. But again, I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, click that like button and thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.